Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 177. This morning I rebroadcast Episode 4 of the first season. It was a episode that talked about how to pick which casino to play at. It explains how I find the casino, how to look at the conditions, what you do when you get there, where to park, how to deal with the staff there, how to deal with cashiers, finding cashiers, things like that. So a lot of good information in there. It was way back. It was the absolute beginning of this podcast, and I had no clue it would become what it is today, but definitely worth a listen. So anyway, this morning, it is Friday morning, and I have a meeting early today before I get to my first casino, or right when I get to my first casino of the day. So it's going to be an hour-long meeting, so it's going to be a pain in the butt, and I won't be able to play before that. I doubt it. I can look at my map here, but I'm 99% sure I'm going to be sitting in the car for an hour when I get there before I can start my day. So anyway, this morning 73 degrees, nice and cool. Yesterday the area I went to was in the low 80s, but by the time I got home it was in the 90s, so I was definitely cooler where I was playing than where I live. So see how today goes. I was okay with yesterday. You get a little antsy when you're used to playing higher limits when you go down to $25, but I kept my cool, and I kept my spread as I thought they should be done on that table, and actually did pretty well. So anyway, right now we're moving to our first casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Come on guys, out of my way. Alright, so just getting out of this casino. I had that meeting in the car. It was scheduled to be 1 hour, ended up being about 45 minutes or so. That meeting was happened when another meeting was supposed to happen, so the other meeting got canceled, and they wanted to move it to just after this meeting, but I asked for a half hour in between, and I got that. So I had about 45 minutes or so between meetings at the casino. I go in and I start looking at machines, and I know I'm a little bit late now because that meeting held me up. And I did find a machine that I've been working on for weeks. It's just barely out of position, just barely in position, barely out of position, back and forth and back and forth. And the problem is, it's a very expensive machine, so it's hard to just say, well, I'm just going to go for it, I'm going to rough it, because it could be, many hundreds or possibly a few $1,000s if I do that. So that machine and one other machine are pretty much the only ones I played. Other than that, I played a couple tiny 1 and 2 spin plays, and I ended the session ahead $88. So not much going on there, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna go play some blackjack, and the best part of the day is coming up right now. Right now, temperature is 75 degrees, hazy skies, and the roads are busy. But this is it. We're going to have to make something happen today. This weekend is going to be rough. It's going to be a holiday weekend. And then Monday, I don't know what's going to happen Monday. If I'm going to be at home, if I'm going to be working, if I'm going to be with family, I have no clue. So we'll see what happens with that as well. There probably will not be a Monday episode. There probably will be a short Tuesday episode. So, we'll see. Take it one step at a time. So right now, I'm moving on. I've got about 10 minutes before my next meeting, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So I go into the next casino and look around at all the slots, and I find pretty much nothing. I had $5 in free play somehow, and I played that through and ended up with $2. And then I played some blackjack, $50 minimum. When I got there, there were 2 tables open, a $50 and a $100 table, and both of them had guys on there. Now the guy at the $50 table had about $2,000 in green chips in front of him, so $25 chips in front of him, and he was betting about $400 or $500 a hand, and he got to about 7/8, 3/4, probably 3/4 of the shoe, and ran out of money. So he's sitting there looking at his phone. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's going to buy in for more. I don't know if I should sit down and ask for a new shoe. I have no clue what's going on. So I end up watching the table next to it, which is a baccarat table. So I'm watching the other guy play and complain about it and all this stuff. And finally, the guy ends up just getting up and leaving after he smoked 2 cigarettes sitting there, and then just ended up leaving. So I said, well, the dealer says, you want to sit down? And I said, well, I don't know. The way you treated that guy, I'm not playing that shoe, that's for sure. And I said, if you give me a new shoe, I might sit down. And so he asked the pit boss, and he said, okay, give him a new shoe. He gives me a new shoe, and I'm playing. I buy in for $500. Don't really have a lot of struggle. I'm hanging between plus 200 and minus 200 for a while. And then toward the end of the shoe, you get a true 1, 1.5, true 2. And then I get a hand where I get a 5-card 17, and the dealer gets a 7-card 21, and he wins, obviously. And that drops me down to $1,000. So I'm ahead exactly 500 at this point. But now what that did is that gave me a running 12 count with about a deck to go, or a little less than a deck to go. So I paused, and I said to the pit boss who's watching, I just bet 100. And I said to the pit boss, I really feel like this next hand is a winning hand. I think I should go all in. And he just stayed silent and smiled. And the dealer said, no, I think you're going to lose it. I would go low on there. So I said, all right, I'm just going to bet half, which is 500. Now, the whole time I've been planning on betting half because my spread was 50 to 500. So I bet the 500. I get a 9. Dealer has a 4. I get a 2. So now I got an 11 against, was it a 4? No, he had an 8. Dealer had an 8. So now I have an 11 against an 8. And so I doubled down for the rest of the money in front of me. And the dealer's like, man, are you sure you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, let's see it. And he's getting ready to flip it, keep it upside down. I'm like, no, I want to see it. And he's taking his time. Are you sure? I feel it's going to be a bad card. Yeah, I feel it. So he flips it over, and it's a 10. I've got a 21. And then he flips over a 2 for a 10. And I'm like, here it goes. I'm just waiting for that ace. Now, earlier in the shoe, there was about 8 aces within 10 cards. It was crazy. Anyway, he flips over the 2, he's got a 10, and then flips over a 10 for a 20, and I win. I just turned my $500 profit into a $1,500 profit in one hand. And after he had dealt me my first card to start the hand, the cut card came out, so it was the end of the shoe as well. So it was just perfect timing, perfectly done story. And if I was betting 100 to 1,000, I might have gone for the whole thing. I could have still, but it just made more sense for me to stick to the plan. And I ended up leaving ahead $1,500 on the blackjack and $2 on the slots. So good start here. We're going to move on to another casino. I did also have $10 in food, and I go to use it. She's like, oh, no, you can't do that. You have to go there, and you have to get a ticket and do this and this. So I go, and it turned out I had 2 $10 ones. So I ended up getting some chicken and rice. I got it sitting here next to me in the car, and on my way to the next casino, I'll be enjoying that. So letting you go right now, plus 1,500 blackjack, plus 2 on the slots, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So went to this place and checked out some slots before playing blackjack and found nothing. And went to the blackjack area. There were 2 open tables, and one of them was this real nice Asian dealer. She's always been good to me, always decent, always nice. And I went to her table, and as soon as I sat down and I put $500 down, another person comes to the table, starts playing one hand, two hands, one hand, two hands. Bet the bonus, don't bet the bonus. Why didn't you bet the bonus? You would have had the bonus. And then every time he bet the bonus, or she bet the, what was it? It was a guy, actually. Every time he bet the bonus, he would get half of it and I would get half of it. And I'm like, just give it up. Obviously, you know, there's a reason why they have these things and they want you to play them. So, finally he busts out. He had bought in for $1,000 and lost just about every hand. And when you're betting 50 on the blackjack hand and 150 on the bonus, it doesn't take very long to lose it all. So he was gone, and I think he came back and went to another table and played over there. Meanwhile, my friend, the waitress, comes up and talks to me. She's an older lady, probably early 60s or so. And I asked her how she was doing, and she told me that she wasn't doing very well. And I said, how come? And she told me that her little dog had to be put to sleep, and she was really upset about it. And I talked to her for a minute, and, you know, whatever. You got to be nice to everybody. And she was hurting. So I took a few minutes and talked to her, got some water from her, and then she said, I got to go on my break, and hopefully you'll be gone by the time I get back because you won. And I said, okay, thank you. And she took off, and I continued to play. And I was involved for as much as 1,000. The most I was down was like maybe 400. I think I had to, no, about 600. So I was down as much as 600 and ended up leaving at the end of a shoe plus 750. So plus another 750. So, you know, we got a third of our money back for the week. So we're working hard. We're going to keep going. I did play some slots as well on the way out, and I ended up ahead $135 on the slots. So far so good. As I was getting ready to leave, a friend of mine sent me a text message, asked me if I was hungry. I said I just ate, and actually that stuff is making my stomach hurt a little bit because it was so hot. It had like the brown sauce, but it was like molten. It was so hot, and I think it upset my stomach a little bit. I feel a little better now, but I said I just ate about an hour ago, and I said, well, I'll come over anyway, and we can. Maybe I'll have a dessert or a snack or something. So I'm heading over to another casino to meet with him, and we'll chat for a while and then maybe play some blackjack and figure out what to do from there. But right now, beautiful day outside. It's sunny, 84 degrees, and we're continuing on to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So I went and met with my friend for a few minutes, talked to him. That was all cool. I go to play some blackjack. There's only one decent table open in the high limit, and I'm not able to get on that one. Walk around a little bit, come back, leave, come back, and I can't get on the table. So I play a different table, spreading 25 to 250, and just have a horrible session. Was never ever ahead, and got in over $5,000 at one point, and just nothing was going right. I had running 18s and 19s with a deck and a half to go, and the dealer gets 4-card and 5-card 21s, and I don't know what is going on in the last month that's just so bad. When I have my big bets out there, everything is like the inverse of what's supposed to happen. It's been so terrible lately. I don't know what is going on. I finally ran out of time, and I ended up leaving down $2,260 and played a slot on the way out and ended ahead 55 on that. So it's like, I don't know what more I can do. I really don't. It's Friday. We have the holiday now. Sunday night, I'll probably travel. I'll probably do a podcast then. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing anymore. I know where I want to go, but I just don't have the confidence this moment. So I need to sit back and relax and think things through and figure out what to do. So unfortunately, that's what happened there. Got on the road, just had about 45 minutes of silence here, thinking it through, and I still don't see what the problem is. I just see bad variance. I hate it so much, I really do. And I had a long streak, big downturn early on, about 2 years ago in March, and it was just horrible. And I hated to do it. I hated to see it. So it was like right before I started the podcast. I went from, I don't remember the numbers, being up like 90,000 by March to being up like 25,000 or something like that. It was that much of a slide. And after that is when I got sick, and then I couldn't play for a month, and then I came back, and my bankroll was really low and had a lot of issues, and man, I just don't want to go back to those flashbacks. I don't know. I don't even know who I would talk to about it. So after being on the road for a while, I am still only about 30 minutes away from the casino, even though I've been on the road for almost an hour now. I'm stuck in traffic, and right now there's still 18 more minutes, according to this map, of traffic due to construction. So it's only about a mile, and it's gonna, oh man, it's gonna take me off. Oh, okay, it's gonna take me around one exit. It's gonna take me on the ramp and then back on the road, and that supposedly is gonna save me 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get over here, and about a mile and a half up, I get to go off the road and then get back on. So whatever. What do you do? What do you do? They don't get it. They really don't. They don't understand. They're like, oh yeah, I see it happen all the time. You don't see what I'm seeing happen all the time, because you don't see this kind of count and end up drawing that many cards repeatedly. And with the count that high, I'm max betting, and I'm getting 2 face cards against a 4 and losing, 2 face cards against a 7 and losing, against an 8 and losing. It's like ridiculous. And so many of these shoes, the aces came out so early, which really steals your advantage away from you, right? Because part of the reason why we have an advantage is the blackjack pays 3-2, and when we have high counts, we have more of an opportunity to get those blackjacks. And when those aces are gone early on, it really hurts. And this is something else that I've been seeing for the last month. I've been seeing shuffles where the aces end up coming out so early, and then even though you have a decent count, you really don't have that much of a better chance, because all you have is a bigger bet out there with less aces than what you really want. So anyway, gonna sit here in this traffic and sulk for a little while, and then I'm gonna move on. I got one more place I want to hit, and we'll see. Allegedly it's in, I don't even know what exit I'm on here. I have no idea what exit I'm on. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'm probably 25 to 30 miles, I don't know, or more away from my next stop. So we'll see what happens, and I'll come back and update you. All right, guys, still sitting here in traffic. Got out a deck of cards, new deck of cards, shuffled them up, real good. And while I'm sitting here in traffic, I've been testing myself, taking a card out, seeing how fast I can count through a deck, and I'm averaging about 16 and a half seconds. I mean, I'm rolling a little bit in the car, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on the road, and I'm getting it right. Speed doesn't seem to be a problem. When I'm at the table, speed is definitely not a problem. Keeping count is not a problem. Deviations is not a problem. It's got to be variance. I mean, I'm going to continue to do this all night tonight. When I get home, I'm going to do it for at least a couple hours tonight and see what I can do with my time, see if I can get it down to 12 or so. But 16 is not bad while I'm driving, and I'm trying to pay attention to the road and the cards and the timer, turning the timer on and off by myself. So I can't say that I've got any kind of problem with the count right now. I'll get a little bit more aggressive with it at home. I'll take out 2 or 3 cards and see, what the remaining count would be. But what else can I do right now? I don't know. Anyway, stuck in traffic still. I'll be back. Sitting in the sun, baking, 88 degrees. I'm sitting on the highway still. The exit I was supposed to take to get around the traffic did not exist. It existed, but it's closed. And I don't know, some of the construction vehicles must have driven that way or something and triggered Google to say that. But right now it looks like I'm only a couple minutes away from being out of this traffic. It's been about another 20 minutes. I've been just playing with the deck the whole time. And man, I wish this exit was open. There's some good stuff here, but it's been closed forever as well. Still playing with the deck, and I'm getting times. My lowest time was 14 and a half, but I'm averaging around 16 seconds without any errors. So I gotta believe that's all good. I could do 3 or 6 decks also and see where I end up, but it seems like that's not my issue. So right now I am going to be so late. Usually I would have been home an hour ago, but traffic has just been awful. Man, mixture of meetings taking up my day, bad traffic, bad tables slowing me down. It's just been one of those days. I'm really glad this week is over, actually. Normally I'm looking forward to the next day, but it's going to be nice to have tomorrow off and then work hard on Sunday. I'm not going to watch any TV. I'm not going to do anything unless it's with the family or unless it has to do with card counting and making sure my game is perfect. That's all I can do. So anyway, I'm not going to keep popping on here until I get to the next spot here. You know what? I don't care. I'm going for it. I'm not stopping. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm going to win. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to get out of this slump, and I'm going to win. That's all I have to say. Walking into the casino right now, ready to take them on. I'm going to make some money in here. This is a sweaty 1-2, and I still may play some blackjack here. So let's see what happens. I'll be back with you. All right, here I am. Sitting at this casino, walking around, looking at stuff, and I played some slots earlier. Only like one machine, really, 2 machines, and I really didn't get anywhere. I was down 135, and I've been waiting for this game to open up, but this guy won't get off the game. Now here's one that just opened up, and I ended up playing. Holy moly, this could be a good one. I ended up playing blackjack and winning $4.50. I found a good play here at $5. I'll be back. Well, that fizzled out real quick. One spin and then it died. I made $8.75 on that. That was about worthless. Looking around here to see what else I can find. I think they have the Asian place open. I can get some sushi here. And as soon as it's ready, I'll get out of here. I think that's the way I'm going to go. Anyway, I did end up ahead $4.50 on the blackjack. What are you going to do? A chip and a chair. So that's what we're working on. All right, I'm back. I don't know if you could hear that in there or not. It's loud as heck in there. Doing what I have to do. I really am. I'm being focused. I'm walking away when it's time to walk away. just bad variance right now. I got to put that in my head that I got to keep on going. And support system or not, I have to keep moving forward. So I went in there, looked around, found some slots, a couple slots, lost some money, was down like 134, decided to play blackjack in the sweatiest casino within 150 or 200 miles of here. Got in there, played, had some okay variance, had some decent variance at the end, ended up ahead just a little bit of 450, and I was happy to leave the table. At the end of the shoe, I was ahead 450, and I left. Went back and looked at slots again. The one guy finally got up off the machine and there was no play on there. So aggravating. That's all I was waiting for. And then I found another play while I was talking to you at $5 a spin. One spin, it fizzled out, it was over, and I only made $8 profit on that one. So I ended, or $9. I ended minus 125 on the slots and plus 450 on the blackjack. And that's where I am right now, and I don't want it to end, but I don't have a choice. I got to start heading toward home. I'm still going to keep this episode open, still going to figure things out. Right now I'm not going to be able to count the cards while I'm driving because we're going to be at full speed. Now there is one more patch of construction, but it's probably not the smartest thing in the world to be driving with your knee and to be counting cards and holding a timer at the same time. Anyway, what can I say? I saw another guy in there who's a more casual AP, older guy, only plays smaller plays, scared of a lot of stuff, doesn't understand the math, just does what people tell him. Hey, when this is this, do this, and he believes everything he hears, but God bless him, he's all right. Right now, it's time to sweat. It's 95 degrees outside. I don't know why my area is like a cesspool of heat, but as I'm getting closer to home, it's getting hotter and hotter. So I'm going to go ahead and head home and relax, get some dinner, hang out with the family, then figure out what to do. So talk to the wife and see what she has to say about it. I'm going to let you go right now, and I'll be back. All right, guys, still on the road. Still have about another hour or so before I get home. And in case I don't have another segment, I just wanted to go over our stuff with you. What did you eat today, MW? This morning I had some chicken and rice, and this evening I had 2 spicy tuna rolls. The chicken and rice was pretty decent, better than usual. I give it about a 9 or a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And the sushi is pretty good, but could be a lot better. I also give that about a 9 on a scale of 2 to ace. And what did you tip today, MW? I tipped a total of $5 today to a waitress. That's all that I tipped. How do I rate myself today? I don't know. I think I rate, as far as play, I rate myself an A or an A minus. As far as emotionally, I rate myself probably a B minus. And I think that's an issue, and it's something that can be fixed, but keeping your cool is a lot easier when there's a group of 2 or 3 or 4 of you. It's a little easier to, talk to each other, help each other out, encourage each other, all that kind of stuff. So that's something I don't have, and it makes it a little bit harder, just to be totally frank. So I try to be as real on here as possible, and anyway, that's what's going on right now. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to record the last segment in case I don't go anywhere, so I'm not at the house whispering the last segment here. So I'm going to let you go. I'll be back. All right, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. I appreciate you guys being here with me and all the support you give me. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.